Hey guys, I thought I'd talk to you about Julian Blanc, the pickup guy who is currently being kicked out of Melbourne in one of the, I think it was the Cosmo Hotel or something like that, I'm not too sure. And basically, like what's going down with him. So he's this guy who basically goes around teaching men ideas on relationships and also seduction, things like this. Various sort of very out there, very counter. What would you call it? It walks a fine line. It's very, very intense material that he creates in order to actually create the vibe of offense in many people. In fact, I think that's what he prides himself on. What's really bizarre about this to me is the idea that the media have picked up his material and basically cast it into the internet with probably millions of viewers, and everyone's reacting to what he does, and it's like, well, giving promotion to someone like this, because I've come across his material beforehand, and I didn't give any promotion. I spoke to a friend about it, I guess, saying that I don't really like the guy so much because his like attitude towards women just it doesn't vibe well. But that said, that's he does what he does, and he certainly got a lot more women interested in him than I have at the moment in me. So it's like, well, how do you question that? It's like it's working. So why are women rewarding it then? That's a bizarre thing. These women are actually rewarding his behavior by giving them attention. I wouldn't do that if I was a woman, if I was so wrong, and I viewed it that way. But I think that what people morally tend to say they hold to these days and what they actually respond to is two different sets of ideas, which is unfortunate and which causes a lot of bizarre sort of scenarios, like guys who are so offensive like this dude but being so successful with women. That being the case, though, I wonder why he's actually been given all this free promotion by these people who are so-called offended by it. It's like, well, don't mention his name, don't put him on the internet, don't just keep it as small and quiet as possible, instead of giving him millions of new viewers, which will inevitably give him new people buying his products and whatever other services he provides, which only supports him. You can't, by giving him this much media coverage, which is what these people have done, you are only expanding his sphere of influence. And frankly, I think it's just an excuse to bitch about something like those very poor tabloids, which I'm sure have some justification for existence, but they basically don't actually serve the purpose that they claim. That's not to say that I don't see some real offence coming from the sort of general populace, because I myself, like I said, I'd come across him beforehand and I found his material sort of abhorrent to me, but I also, I give someone the space to exist and do what they perceive is right for them. This includes women, and if they want to choose a douchebag, that's their choice. And frankly, to try and force or impose a standard even on these women, I find disgusting as well, because frankly, it's not my choice, it's not your choice, it's nobody's choice other than the person who is talking to that guy, whether or not they find his behavior acceptable or not. And you don't have an opinion that is going to override their will. So if you got a problem with these women liking that, that's your problem. You have an issue, okay? And in that way, that's why I also happen to keep out of it, because I saw what he was doing and I gave him as little attention as possible. But now that there are millions and millions of views on these various feeds hating on him, I don't think it makes a difference if I make one video about it and sort of talk about the material. There is one video mentioned which is particularly shocking. I think there was two things that stood out, but one is he goes around and he's shoving these Japanese girls' heads towards his crotch or something like that, which I just found kooky. Like, I was like, alright then. But that's his choice. I actually think he planned this. I really do think he made those videos to get a massive reaction from the feminists, because he was affiliated with another gentleman who got an article written about him by a feminist group, and he was jealous. So he instigated this whole thing, and you people are falling into that. Another thing I saw of his was he's holding a girl by the neck, but when you actually look at the video, it's not actually a chokehold, which is what is being portrayed by the lying idiots who want to portray gossip, tabloid, rumor bullshit, and then propose its honesty, which I hate. I mean, look, if someone does something that is actually intensely wrong, like choking someone, right? Every single time that you make a claim that is false about such things as choking, all you're doing is weakening the power of the words of choking for each woman who claims that afterwards, for example. Okay, so if a girl says someone choked her, and a bunch of lying idiots have went around claiming that a dude who's not actually choking someone is choking someone, right? Then yeah, it actually makes it so their words are worth less and less and less until people don't even pay attention. So well done. You really care about women there, you retards. I actually find it disgusting, because I can see, right? He is holding, by the way, he is holding around the neck. You can see it, and that is utterly kooky. It's weird, but saying to choke, that's a very intentional and specific wording, and it's a gossipy tabloid bullshit wording, and I hate it. It's like, okay, there's choking someone, and then there's this. That's not a choke. Okay, a choke is where someone is trying to breathe and you are preventing it. But this only destroys the feminist narrative, okay? Because if you did believe in the rights of women, okay, like a lot of people do, like myself does, okay, I myself believe in the rights of women, and I listen and I'm subscribed to various feminist blogs, but it's like, okay, how can I trust these people when they feed me pure fucking lies? It's like, oh, it's a choke. It's like, well, you can lie to me, and then all you do is every person, whoever hears anything you guys have to say, whether it's true or false from then on, is more likely to believe you're full of shit. And that's what I hate about this, because it's like, yeah, the dude's doing douchey, stupid stuff, just weird things, and it's like, okay, well, you know what your reaction should be? Call it how it exactly is, and call it how, if it's wrong, call it how it's morally wrong exactly. Don't bullshit, don't exaggerate, because you don't need to, because if it's wrong, it's wrong. But instead, you have to rely on bullshit, which is saying that there's something about your story which is a lie, your narrative is false, you're relying on something which isn't true. And that really is quite sad, because you're the people who are representing and promoting the value of the women in our society, and it's like, well, why would you do that? Why would you undermine that with your actions, you know? And which puts you on the same level as him in my eyes. Basically, it's like, well, if you're going to undermine women in that way, yeah, you're not helping them. Sorry, mate, you know, claim all you want. But that's not to be mistaken for if you're someone who's seen any of the material he's promoting, and you are actually disgusted at the actions or the treatment or whatever, and you describe it as it actually is, okay, without exaggeration, and how you're disgusted by those exact things, without bringing in fictional paradigms and like fake, almost godlike representations of ideas, is like that can never be questioned. It's like, okay, if you don't bring in things like that and you just talk about the truth, and it's like, he did this and it's disgusting because of this, it's like, good, say whatever you want. But you know, that's what comes to my mind with this whole Julian Blanc stuff. Anyway, cheers guys, have a good one, bye.